Yeah.
Well,
So I mean, around that time though, this is kind of around the time when you and Chameleon that kind of started going y'all separate ways, or
yeah, we
was it just growing apart, or
I mean,
because
some
y'all
of
been
it's
best
like,
friends up until that point?
I mean, this is how I look at it. I mean, Bill Gates and Steve Jobs, they can't both be the CEO. You know, one of them got to be the COO, or one of them got to be the VP in charge of whatever. You know what I'm saying? Or they CEOs of separate companies. If it's the same company, you know, no matter how genius both of us are, or how good we are, or whatever, anything of the caliber of quality of whatever we got to bring to the table, you know, it's if we as a group off top, we got to split it in half. Off top, if you are artist, if you got 11% as an artist, that was considered a good deal. Okay. Off top, Mad Hatter gave us like 20%, 25%. So we like doubling the industry standard for a good deal. It's changed a lot because artists' rights have changed a lot, or just artists, you know, ignorance has changed. Now people know not to, you know that you can do it on your own, and they know ways to get a higher percentage and things like that. But at the time, you got 11%. That was a good deal, and we got double that. So it was man, it was, but we were always constantly thinking we want to make a business off of this. How can we make money off of this? So we're not trying to run our bills up or promotion or spending money on this and taking people out to eat and we paid all this money on this and that and that. Nah, every dollar spent, me and Camille are like okay, basically along the lines of, and we was always like, no, don't. We'll spend our own money, because we didn't want it to come out later. So we go hustle, come find a ways. Hey, we got to come up with 2,500. All right, bet we go come. Hey, here's my half, here's your half, or whatever, and we do it on our own. If that means we pressing up on, vinyls. If that means we paying for our own posters to get done. If we paying the promotion team ourselves out our pocket. If we doing that out our pocket, so that when the album come out, we making money from one CD sold, or however we can do it, So that was our view. Is we don't want to be sitting here recouping, because you'd hear stories of people who albums went platinum, double platinum, and they ain't make no money. Well, why they ain't make no money? Because they spent $10-15 million promoting the album or doing things, and that might be why it went double platinum and platinum. But we wanted to make money, so we was like, hey, we getting even 25%, which was a good deal. You put that in half, we right back to then we getting like shit. And I don't know, it just was, I think it was in both our stars to be solo artists. You know what I'm saying? This was what it was meant to be. So we solo artists, but it was very tough for me. I say very tough. Not one person in the world fucked with me. They fucked with me as a person, but as a rapper, it was unanimous. You fell off. You ain't shit without Chameleon there. That was the unanimous vibe. Oh, you cool, but you ain't shit without Chameleon there as a rapper. And I don't know,
because he had went on to do that's when he started doing the mixtape Messiahs, and like he really went into like branding his thing, and you were still kind of just trying to figure it out.
I was kind of trying to figure it out, but at the same time, even when this was even still when we doing Color Changin Click, when we was doing that, he was kind of building his own platform of his own crew. Because to me, the Color Changin Click was me, Chameleon Era, 50-50, and Lou Hawk. But then it's his brother Razak. Shout out to Razak. Then it was Young Ro. Shout out Young Ro, and whoever else he's bringing in or whatever. Which some of them were our friends. Young Ro came in because he was signed and paid in full, and he was J Mac homeboy. And J Mac was like, "Hey, why don't y'all let him come? Can y'all let him get on y'all freestyles? To give him some publicity, this and that." And I didn't really like Young Ro at first because he was a battle rapper. But when I heard him spit like dropping bars, that's when I was like, "Okay, I'm convinced. Yeah, he got it. He hard." I don't like the battle rap because I don't. It's not too many battle rappers I like, But when I seen him drop bars, I was convinced. Same with Razak. He was my boy just like Camino was, so I always was like, man, bring him on. Hell yeah, bring him on. He's our boy anyway. Camino felt a little different because that was his brother. And, I probably would feel the same if I'm bringing my blood on, somebody who's my blood brother on, because everything they do is a representation of you. He could go out and get him in trouble or do something that he got to clean up or whatever, or not necessarily bad, but it's just, it's like it's a lot already watching out for yourself, but then to watch out for
it's another responsibility. It's
a huge responsibility. But he came on too. But then eventually, I don't know, when we went our separate ways, 50-50 twin, we always was cool. Like we all, cause me and him and his brother and my mom is close with his brother too, who's locked up, and him and his mom, his whole family. So we always remained close. We didn't really let it bother us too much, like me and Camille are going our separate ways. But Lou Hawk was really kind of the one who was like riding with me, like, all right, me and him is just me and Lou Hawk. So we split up. Camille continued the Color Changin Click, basically, and that kind of turned into Color Changin Click military. All that, but at the time, it's like everything. The Screwed Up Click evolved too. At the original of the Screwed Up Click, it was Fat Pat and Lil Kiki, and then it was more and more and more and more and more up to his death. Same with Swisher House. At first, it was others, and then others, and then me at some point, and then others after me. So with any of just Color Changin Click was the same way. Started off with us four, then it evolved to more. But like you said, part of it was like, I'm doing my own Color Changin Click CDs. Camille kind of doing his own Color Changin Click CDs. While we beefing, we still Color Changin Click, and we not making it public. Although people pitted us against each other because we the two stars on the team, so that's how people do. But they Kobe and Shaq. It's like how it was. So it is what it is. But me and Goo would be over there in Lou Hawk. We'd be making our mixtapes, and then T-Farris would be the only one who would be like, "Hey, bro. Fuck what everybody talking about, man. Your best days are not behind you. Hey, bro. Hey, I don't care what nobody say, bro. Your gas ain't out the tank. Hey, you still got something. Hey, I heard that freestyle you did. Hey, I like what you say. Hey, you went hard on that. He would always give me encouragement. And he wasn't no manager or nothing. He just was pressing up CDs and tapes, doing promotions, kind of like what I was doing, before I was rapping. Then he was doing that. He got elevated to doing other jobs at the Swisher House, and I don't know what his title was at the time, but when he met Mike Jones or whatever, that's when he started. Even then, I don't think he was Mike Jones' manager, but he was like helping him out just because Mike Jones was the new Swisher House artist. It was Mike Jones and Magnificent, and they was the new Swisher House artist, and he was like helping the new Swisher House artist. So it was like, hey, you and Camille now y'all got shows all the time, man. Would you mind? This is kind of before me and Camille was when I said, well, hey, would you mind letting Mike Jones open up for you? Because we're trying to help him get some of the same Swisher House crowd, and we want to introduce him to him. So I bet that's a no-brainer. Of course, shit. Never think twice. But you'd be surprised how many people would say, nah, I don't want him opening up for me out of hate or what they say, kill the babies. If they don't want the people coming after you because you don't want them to overshadow you or something like that. But to me, it was always, this is something I cherish being a part of. So it can't be end all with me. It gotta, because it didn't start with me. So it gotta be, so off top was like, yeah, of course. Camille too was like, of course, because T-Farris was both our boys, me and Camille. This is one thing I say about T-Farris, man. Even through the whole thing of me and Camille beefing, before we was beefing, when we was beefing, after we was beefing, all of that, the whole time T-Farris always kept it real. Him being real close with me, very close, like brotherly close with me, but also being cool with Camille there, not being two-faced with either one of us in any way, not being fake in any way with either one of us, respecting that he is my brother, but this somebody different, and him also seeing the bigger picture of one day y'all gonna be back cool, and I need to some type of way lay some of the foundation so that when that day come, so he'd be doing things like telling Camille, same thing, like, man, I know you and Paul ain't getting along, but one day y'all gonna get back, man. What, just planting them type of seeds. So, man, it just is, it's, looking back, it's something that man, God put an angel, in my life when he introduced me to T-Farris, because he took me and said, hey. He would always tell me these things that, man, you still go hard. I'm still fucking with you.
Donnie Houston.